Actually, you've convinced me.
What?
You've changed my mind.
No way.
No, you've changed my mind completely.
Unpopular opinion, gents. I reckon Origin is overrated.
Uh-oh. Well, that's blown me away that you would say that. A man who loves his sport, loves his rugby league, you've come out and said Origin, the thing we all look forward to, and you want to say it's unpopular, it's overrated.
Oh, it's not unpopular, but I think it's above what it should be in terms of how big it is.
My young fella, he's 9. He's, Dad, I don't care about Easter, don't care about Christmas. When's the Origin on?
Wow.
Geez, you taught him, haven't you?
Loves his footy. If I was a CEO of a club and I had 4 or 5 Origin players going out and playing and then coming back injured,
well, this is my point,
derails
Chris.
their season. And, you know, like I've seen that as a player as well, where you lose your best players and then you got to play a game without them. You got to play 3 games without them players. So if I was a CEO, I'd be looking for guys who aren't quite Origin players and getting a few of them to cover them guys when they're off playing Origin.
That's the thing. Like, I literally watch an Origin game as a Manly fan like this, praying that that big blonde bloke doesn't cop an injury and come back busted. That's my point, that, yeah, it's great. It's fantastic to watch. It as a sporting contest, there's few as good in the world. But I just think it ruins the actual club competition, which is much more beneficial to the health of rugby league, in my opinion. For 8 weeks, name another worldwide sporting competition that takes away its best players for an 8-week block in the middle of it all to go and play a concurrent competition.
For someone else.
Yeah,
no.
Doesn't make sense.
Yeah. You've put together, actually, you've convinced me.
What?
You've changed my mind.
No way.
No, you've changed my mind completely. But having said that, I mean, there is nothing like the spectacular of Origin. And there's never an ordinary Origin game. There's always a great game. There's always a great story. Somebody always comes of age in an Origin game. So for all the bad, you know, the good just outweighs it.
Could you reschedule it to after the season?
I tried that in COVID. And
did that work?
TV ratings weren't through the roof, but I reckon that's the answer. Chris, with Origin, so you saw players come back to wherever you were playing and they were cooked for a couple of weeks.
Recent memories with Kalen Ponga going and playing and just just not the same. Takes it a little bit out of you mentally, physically, obviously. It's obviously a great experience for him, but even me as a player or teammate, watching him play and say, every tackle I was riding like you were with Turbo. Yeah. I could just imagine the CEO or the coach of the team, you know, like, because we need him the following week because, you know, like the best players are on $1 million or 1.2. That's, you know, a lot of money to be paying a guy who's out injured and he didn't get injured playing for his team. He got injured playing representing the state.
So, Maroon, I've changed your mind, but, Chris, I'm not the judge, jury and executioner. It's got to be with your son, the final call.
Yeah, no, he wants 3 games during the season.
Can we get Rocco on here and find out exactly what we need to do?
Worst grounds, gents. Well, Maroon and I have got a fan experience perspective. But Chris, what about from a player's perspective?
I'll have to go Brookvale Oval. The parking's shocking. We used to have to get there, drive our own way there, so it was hard to get a park. The ground was thick. It was a heavy track. It took me 16 years to get a win there, so it would have to be Brookvale Oval.
Wow, 16 years.
I'll go Cogra. I remember one day there, remember Noel Goldthorpe, little halfback, kicks a field goal late on, and to win Saints the game and just copped it from every single direction on the Cogra Hill. Not a very hospitable bunch, the Dragons fans. Yeah, there would have been some average joints you would have gone to in the 80s.
No, I'd tell you what, and I can remember the old Cumberland Oval before it was even Parramatta Stadium. So 2 stadiums ago there, and that was always an awful place to go, although you could climb in over the hill and get in for free. That was pretty good. North Sydney Oval, which was always rock hard for the players in the centre of the field.
It's beautiful.
It's beautiful now.
Big trees and hill, and it's a beautiful joint.
What about Leichhardt Oval on a Sunday? So when I was at the West Tigers, we used to pack it out. And I was injured one day, so I thought I'm going to go and watch the game on the hill. get up there, I couldn't see anything. The sun was in your eyes. Everyone's like this. But it must have been the atmosphere. I had the experience. I couldn't really see much of the game, but the atmosphere was just electric.
I have to say, I don't get Leichhardt Oval. Everybody talks about being the 8th wonder of the world. And I don't get it. There's nowhere to park. You go into the commentary boxes, there's a big steel beam across it. So if you stand up too quickly, you'll hit your head. No, you're going to have that joint.
No, I'm stepping in. It's a great place to play footy at.
All right. Well, you played there. I'm not going to argue with you. I'm not going to argue with you.
Might have to wrestle you.
No, I don't think so.
I was about to step in his comment about Brookvale, but when he brought that up, there's no chance I'm going to step in about that.
You're going to wrestle him, are you?
No. Footy's about winning games, but it's about attracting fans. And that's where marketability comes in. Who's the most marketable player in the NRL right now?
Hard one. There's Kalen Ponga, obviously. James Tedesco, Turbo, Ryan Pappenhausen. Kalen's got a way of creating fans around him and the Knights. But I'm liking Pappenhausen as well at the moment. Obviously, the mullet looks like he's a rock star from the 80s. Yeah. It's a tough one between Kalen and Ryan, but I'll go with... I'll be loyal to Kalen Ponga.
I'm going to strike a dagger through your heart. Adam Reynolds.
Yeah, you know how to hurt a bloke.
Marketability has to take into account what happens off the field. You can't have blokes who are fronting up to the integrity unit every 3 months as your most marketable. But Adam Reynolds looks like the guy who could join a bikie gang, but actually he acts like someone who's about to join the priesthood.
Yeah.
He's so down to earth, family man, great teammate.
The only thing I would say is if he does join a bikie gang, they'd have to be on those Vespers and they'd have to be drinking those little cappuccinos or those little piccolos because he's way too little to be in a big bikie gang.
Or an electric bike.
Now you're thinking.
If they were to remake the Tina Turner ad, you know what I mean? Who would be front and centre there? So you've got Kalen. If it was a player, Maroon.
It's hard, isn't it? Because I'm sounding my age now, but all these players have got tattoos on their necks, which I don't like, and these kooky hairdos where they've got no hair around their ears. I'm looking for somebody with the short back and sides.
You can't bring yourself to say a Manly player because there's a bloke in the one there that's got the haircut. It's all the things that you're talking about. The kids love him, but you can't bring yourself to say a Seagull.
Well, you know what? Actually, I can. But I made this comment the other day, Adam. Young Ben Trebojevic, he looks like the Chesty Bonds man. He could be the way to go in the future.
Who was the most marketable bloke that you played with in terms of glamour boy that you might have just ribbed a bit for being too good looking?
Well, he's not great looking, but his skill on the field, Benji Marshall. 2003, we sort of... got recruited to the West Tigers, same sort of time. And by 2005, I remember we made the grand final in 2005 and we were training there at Concord Oval. And we had sectioned areas to sit and the fans could come and get a signature off you. I was with Liam Fulton. There's like 5 people waiting. And everyone, there was I reckon 1,000 of people all around the Oval waiting for Benji Marshall's signature. We could have went home. Everyone else could have went home.
Yeah. I remember that day because the queue for you was your mother, your father, your sister, your uncle.
Exactly right. We're just like, what are we doing here?
We need clarity though. I mean, I know we've both come up with a name here.
Yeah.
Reynolds. Ponga, you're still sitting on the fence over there, Maroon.
Mate, no.
Give us the definition of a marketable player.
I think you'd have to say Ryan Pappenhausen. I've got a grandson who's 5, absolutely loves Ryan Pappenhausen. All the kids that age, up to about 13, love him. They love the haircut. They love the coolness. But forget all that. How good does he play football?
That helps.
That does help. So I'm going to go Pappenhausen.